Sometimes the hardest part isn't walking away. It's walking back into the room where everything broke. This is part 2 of Daniel's story, where the truth finally comes out and every word changes what's left of love.
When I opened the door, the lights were still on. Ada sat on the edge of the couch, arms wrapped around herself, eyes swollen and red. The test result and the lab report still lay on the coffee table like evidence in a trial. She scrambled to her feet when she saw me. "Thank God," she breathed. "I thought you weren't going to come back tonight." "I live here," I said quietly. "For now." The "for now" hung between us like a guillotine. She flinched. "Can we talk?" "We're already talking," I replied, though my voice sounded tired even to me. She wiped her cheeks with the back of her hand. "You deserve the full truth. No more half-truths or omissions. Not from me, and not from you either." I nodded, jaw tense. "Start." She took a shaky breath and sat back down. I stayed standing for a moment, then reluctantly lowered myself into the armchair across from her, putting the coffee table and everything on it between us. "It happened 2 months ago," she began, staring at her hands. "Before your doctor's appointment. Before I knew anything was wrong. I just knew you were gone. You were here physically, but I felt like I'd lost you." My throat tightened. "So you found him?" "It wasn't like that," she insisted weakly. "Tolu came over one evening when you were working late. I'd had a horrible day at work, and you hadn't picked up my calls. He brought food. We talked. He asked me if everything was okay. No one had asked me that in a while, Daniel. Not really." Guilt twisted with anger. I looked away. "One thing led to another," she whispered. "I wish I could say I stopped it. I didn't. I was hurting. I wanted to feel wanted. It's not an excuse. I know that. But that's what happened." Afterward, I couldn't even look at him. We agreed it was a mistake. We promised never to let it happen again. And did it? I asked sharply. "Happen again?" "No," she said firmly. "Just that once. I swear on everything I have left. Just once." I studied her face, searching for lies. All I saw was exhaustion and regret. "So, when did you realize you were pregnant?" I asked. "A week and a half ago," she said. "My period was late. I thought it was stress. But then the nausea started. The dizziness. I bought a test. Then another. Then another. It was positive each time." "And when did you connect the dates?" I pressed. She closed her eyes briefly. "Immediately." "So you knew?" I said quietly. "You knew from the start that I might not be the father." She broke again, tears spilling over. "I hoped, God forgive me, I hoped it was yours. That maybe it was a miracle. That by some twist of fate, we had conceived against all odds, and this would fix everything." I held on to that hope like a mad woman. That's why I waited to tell you. I wanted to go to the hospital first, get a scan, ask if it was possible. I didn't want to destroy you if there was even a 1% chance it was your child. "And Tolu?" I asked. "Did you tell him?" She hesitated. That tiny pause said everything. "Yes," she admitted. "I told him I was late. He panicked. Said it couldn't be his. Said we only had that one time, that I should focus on you and not drag him into it. He said I'd ruined everything if I said anything." I laughed bitterly. "Of course he did." She reached for me instinctively, then stopped herself, fingers curling back. "I don't love him, Daniel. I never did. It was weakness, brokenness, loneliness. I love you. Only you." My chest ached. "And yet," I said, voice low, "when you were lonely, you didn't come to me. You went to him." "You weren't there," she whispered. "You left me long before that night." I swallowed hard. The truth in her words stung because it wasn't entirely wrong. "I was here," I argued weakly. "Your body was," she said. "Your heart wasn't." We sat in silence, each of us holding shards of the other's failures. "This child," I said eventually, forcing myself to look at her belly. It was still flat, no visible change yet, but suddenly I couldn't unsee it. "You're going to keep it." It wasn't really a question. I already knew the answer. "Yes," she said firmly. I can't end this pregnancy, Daniel. I know it came from something ugly, something I regret with every breath, but the baby didn't ask to be created. It's still innocent." Her hand moved unconsciously to her stomach. "I know it might not be yours, but I love it already. And I'm so scared." I stared at her hand, at the way her fingers trembled. "Do you expect me to raise my best friend's child?" I asked. "Pretend nothing happened?" "I don't expect anything," she said brokenly. I don't feel entitled to any outcome with you anymore. If you walk away and never look back, I'll deserve it. If you stay but say you can't be a father to this child, I'll understand. I don't know what the right thing is. I just know that I messed up, and I'm asking for forgiveness I probably don't deserve. The room felt unbearably heavy, the weight of our choices pressing on every surface. I leaned back, closing my eyes. My dad cheated on my mom, I said suddenly. Ada looked up, surprised. I was 12 when she found out. I continued. He'd been having an affair for months. When she confronted him, he denied it. Then he blamed her. Then he begged. The house was never quiet after that. It was either shouting or silence. No in between. Eventually she left. She took us and left. I swore to myself I would never make someone feel what she felt. Never give someone that kind of pain. Tears blurred my vision. And somehow, I whispered, I still ended up here. On the other side of the equation. I'm not your father, Daniel, Ada said softly. And you're not your mother. Our story doesn't have to end the way theirs did, doesn't it? I asked. Trust shattered. Marriage cracked. A child in the middle of a war it didn't start. It feels pretty familiar. She swallowed. What do you want to do? The question sat between us like a loaded gun. What did I want? I wanted to rewind time. To walk into that doctor's office with her beside me. To cry in the car together afterward. To research adoption together, fertility treatments, donor options. To call Tolu and never invite him into my deepest spaces. To hold her through her loneliness instead of drowning in my own shame. But time doesn't care what we want. I can't answer that tonight, I said at last, voice hoarse. I can barely breathe, let alone make a decision that will change all our lives. Then don't decide yet, she whispered. Stay? Sleep in the guest room if you have to. Don't touch me. Don't talk to me. Just don't leave completely. Not yet. Please. I thought of the cafe, the quiet, the tempting idea of checking into a hotel, of disappearing into anonymous sheets and room service and pretending, just for a night, that my life was simpler than this. But when I looked at Ada, ashamed, terrified, cradling a future I wasn't sure I wanted any part of, something tugged at me. Love, even wounded, doesn't disappear overnight. I'll sleep in the guest room, I said. Relief flickered across her face like a match in the dark. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me, I replied. I'm not staying for you. Not yet. I'm staying because I need to see who I am when the dust settles. And I can't see that from outside my own house. The next few weeks were a strange limbo. We lived together, but separately. She moved carefully around me, like I was a wounded animal that might bite if startled. I responded in short sentences, kept my distance, buried myself in work, in drives around town, in long showers where the sound of water drowned out the noise in my head. Tolu tried to call. I blocked his number. He tried to come by. I stood at the gate and looked him in the eye. Don't ever come back here, I said quietly. Daniel, listen, he began, hands raised. No, I cut him off. You listened when my wife told you she was lonely. You listened when your desire was louder than your loyalty. You don't get to talk now. Guilt flashed across his face. It was a mistake. Mistakes are tripping over someone's leg, I said. Not sleeping with your best friend's wife. He flinched. What are you going to do? That's my decision, I replied. And you? You're going to live with knowing you destroyed the one friendship that never betrayed you. His eyes shone, but I stepped back before I could care. I shut the gate in his face. Ada's first scan appointment came, and she hesitated at the door. I'll go alone, she said softly. You don't have to come. I know this might hurt you. We stood facing each other in the hallway, separated by a few steps and a galaxy of broken trust. Do you want me there? I asked. Her eyes filled with tears. Yes, she whispered, but only if you do too. I'm not asking you to pretend, Daniel. I don't want fake smiles. I don't want to be alone. I didn't know if the baby was mine. Science said no. Dates said probably not. But something inside me, some fragment of the man who once dreamed of cradling a tiny hand, of football games and school runs and bedtime stories, pushed me forward. I'll come, I said. We sat in the waiting room in silence. Other couples laughed softly, held hands, pointed at posters of growing fetuses with awe. We stared ahead. Inside the dim ultrasound room, the doctor smeared cold gel across her belly. The monitor flickered to life. For a second, all I saw was static and black void. Then a small shape emerged, a fluttering speck in the darkness. "There," the doctor said, smiling. "That's your baby. And that little flicker, that's the heartbeat." The sound came next. A fast, insistent thumping that filled the room, the kind of sound you'd expect from something desperate to prove it was alive. I felt something crack open inside me. "That's loud," I said, voice shaking. "It's strong," the doctor replied. "Everything looks good for this stage." Ada turned her head toward me, tears streaming quietly. I couldn't read the emotions on her face. Joy, sorrow, guilt, wonder, all blended together. "Do you want a picture?" the doctor asked. I hesitated. "Yes," I heard myself say. He printed out a small black and white image and handed it to me. I stared at the tiny shape, the blur that was somehow a person, a future, a consequence. On the drive home, the picture sat on my lap, weighing more than paper should. "Thank you for coming," Ada said quietly. I nodded, eyes on the road. "I don't know what you'll decide," she continued. "About us, about this baby, but whatever it is, I'll accept it. I just needed you to know that I am truly, deeply sorry, not just because of the consequences, because I broke something sacred between us. I gripped the steering wheel, and I'm sorry," I said, surprising myself, "that I thought protecting you meant hiding the worst part of my reality, that I turned away instead of letting you hold my pain. My silence pushed you to make a terrible choice. You're responsible for what you did, but I'm responsible for the distance that made it easier." She wiped her eyes. "So where does that leave us?" I exhaled slowly. "In the middle," I said. "Not at the beginning, not at the end, just in the middle, and I don't know yet which direction we're walking." Months passed. We went to therapy, separately, then together. We sat in a counselor's office and unspooled years of unspoken expectations, generational trauma, cultural pressure, and personal fear. I learned to say "I felt" instead of "you did." She learned to listen without jumping to defend herself. It wasn't magic. It was work. Painful, exhausting work. There were days I was sure we were done. Days I Googled apartments. Days I imagined signing divorce papers and starting over alone. There were other days when I watched her fall asleep on the couch, hand resting unconsciously on her growing belly, and felt an ache so deep I couldn't name it. Love didn't vanish. Trust had. Those two facts wrestled inside me daily. The day the baby kicked for the first time, she grabbed my hand and placed it on her stomach. "Feel," she whispered. A small, insistent thump met my palm. A real, physical nudge from the life that had rearranged everything without asking permission. I didn't know if I was touching my child or not. Biology said probably not, but my heart didn't care about probability at that moment. It just knew there was a tiny human saying I'm here. Tears pricked my eyes. "I don't know how to do this," I whispered. "Neither do I," she replied. "But maybe we can learn." I wish I could say the story ends neatly. That I woke up one morning full of certainty, declared I was staying, adopted the child as my own without a shred of resentment, forgave her completely, and we rode off into some emotionally mature sunset. Real life is messy, eh? The truth is, I'm still deciding. Every day, I chose to be there for the birth. I watched as a tiny, wrinkled, screaming person entered the world, fists clenched, lungs furious. When the nurse placed the baby in Ada's arms, time stopped. "Do you want to hold her?" the nurse asked me. Her. I hadn't known the gender until that moment. I looked at Ada. She looked back, eyes full of fear and hope, exactly like the day she'd told me she was pregnant. I reached out. When I held that baby girl, everything else faded for a second. No affair, no infertility, no lab results or timelines. Just warmth, weight, and big dark eyes blinking up at me like I was the first face that ever mattered. "Hey," I whispered, my voice breaking. "I'm Daniel. One day, she might ask me, 'Are you my real dad?' And I still don't know what I'll say. For now, I only know this. Infertility broke something in me. Her betrayal broke something in us. But this child, this loud, demanding, innocent life, has cracked us open in a different way. We stand in the ruins of what we thought our marriage was. We are building, slowly, carefully, something new. It might collapse. It might hold. Time will tell. Some days, the pain is loud. Some days, the love is louder. I don't know if I'll ever fully forgive her. I don't know if I'll ever fully forgive myself. But when I rock my maybe daughter to sleep at night and she curls her tiny hand around my finger, I know one thing with absolute certainty. Whatever else is broken, this moment is real. And sometimes, in a life filled with unavoidable emotional explosions and tension, a single honest moment is enough to keep you trying again tomorrow.
If you were Daniel, what would you do next? Stay and raise the child? Or walk away and start over? There's no right answer, but your answer matters. Drop it in the comments.